Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Foreclosure Help 777, where we talk about everything foreclosure related. Today we're going to talk about Carrington again. He's got some interesting things happening with his cases. And I do say cases because he has more than one. If you go to the New York State Courts Electronic Filing, or NYCEF as it's called, NYSCEF, and you type his name in, you can search as a guest here and type in his name, you'll see that you have more than one case number here. The current case that we've been talking about is the first one, 11234, 2009. But today we're going to talk about another case that he has going on another property, which is this one here, 524-837, 2023. It's a separate home that he owns that he's fighting foreclosure on. And you can see this case has been going on since August of 2023. And what has happened since then, he did file an answer, and then this has been going on kind of stagnant for a while. And then the other side decided that they would file a motion for summary judgment asking the court to just foreclose on him. And this was filed on August 13th. So what Carrington is going to file next is a opposition to summary judgment. So let's look at that. What does that look like when you are opposing a summary judgment? Okay, so let's look at it from the beginning. Okay, so the caption is pretty much the same thing, except this time it's with his spouse. This is or ex-spouse. This is a house that they both own jointly. He doesn't live there anymore though. But you can see here the first page here, it says defendant's opposition to plaintiff's motion for summary judgment. Comes now William Carrington, defendant pro se, and respectfully submits this opposition to plaintiff's motion for summary judgment, asserting as follows. He's arguing that the plaintiff lack of standing. To prevail on a foreclosure action, the plaintiff must establish standing. The promissory note is not properly endorsed to Wells Fargo, N.A. as trustee for the Soundview Home Loan OPT3 Trust. Plaintiff presented a free-floating allonge signed by option 1. However, this allonge is undated and is not permanently affixed to the note, rendering it insufficient as prima facie evidence for foreclosure. Defects in the prior foreclosure. A previous foreclosure action was initiated against the same parties on July 31st, 2017, under index number 514788, 2017. This case was dismissed because the plaintiff failed to comply with RPAPL 1304 requirements. On May 12, 2022, Counsel for Mobilization for Justice submitted a cross motion for summary judgment, which was Doc 50, which highlighted deficiencies in the plaintiff's 90-day notice. Specifically, the notice was addressed to both defendant and his ex-wife jointly, rather than individually, addressing to each borrower in separate envelopes as required. The Second Department has ruled that strict compliance with RPAPL 1304 is a condition precedent to the commencement of a foreclosure action. The notice produced by plaintiff in support of its January 17, 2019 motion for summary judgment was thus defective, and it has some case law here. The Honorable Larry Martin signed the order dismissing the previous case on April 3, 2023. A copy of this order is attached hereto as Exhibit A. The current foreclosure action lacks an exhibit demonstrating compliance with RPAPL 1304, therefore this case should also be dismissed for the same reason. Now, defective corporate assignment of mortgage. Plaintiff submitted a defective corporate assignment of mortgage dated May 19, 2017, which is recorded in NYCEF as Plaintiff Exhibit B, Doc 3. Plaintiff's counsel claims to represent Wells Fargo, N.A. as trustee for the Soundview Home Loan 2007 OPT3 Trust. However, a FOIA request to the Securities and Exchange Commission reveals that this trust ceased operations on January 28, 2008. Proof is attached hereto as Exhibit B. Exhibit B includes the FOIA request, the SEC's response, and Form 15 confirming that the plaintiff, Wells Fargo N.A., as trustee, lacked existence at the time the complaint was filed on August 25, 2023. And then there's a footnote there. And the footnote says, without proper jurisdiction, any decision made by a court can be deemed invalid. It's a foundational element that ensures fairness and legitimacy in the legal practice. Okay, let's go back to where we were. Consequently, how can an assignment of mortgage dated May 19, 2017 be valid if the assignee did not exist? Questions for the court. Who is the attorney actually representing? Does the attorney have authority to represent a non-existent entity? Is there a potential for fraud or misrepresentation? Is an imposter pursuing this lawsuit under false pretenses? Plaintiff lacks subject matter jurisdiction. Given that the Soundview Home Loan 2007 OPT3 Trust is defunct, Wells Fargo Bank N.A. as trustee lacks authority to act on its behalf, and thus the court lacks subject matter jurisdiction over this foreclosure case. Jurisdiction requires a legitimate plaintiff. See IndyMac FSB versus Mendel Measles. We talked about that case on previous videos. Plaintiff is time barred. A prior foreclosure complaint involving the same parties was dismissed on July 31, 2017. The statute of limitations for foreclosure actions in New York under CPLR 213.4 is 6 years from the lender's acceleration of the mortgage. Since the current action was filed on August 25, 2023, it is 1 month beyond the statutory limit and thus time barred. Foreclosure Abuse Prevention Act, or FAPA. Signed into law on December 30, 2022, FAPA applies to foreclosures initiated in 2023 and beyond, as well as retroactively to actions where no final judgment of foreclosure and sale was enforced before its enactment. Defendant respectfully requests that this court consider dismissal for being time barred. RPAPL 15014. Under RPAPL 15014, a mortgagor can seek to remove a mortgage lien of record if the statute of limitations has expired. Defendants are not required to wait for the plaintiff to initiate foreclosure proceedings and can seek to discharge the lien under the statute. See Freedom Mortgage versus Engel. That's the footnote for the measles case, guys. Conclusion. For these reasons, defendant respectfully requests that the court deny plaintiff's motion for summary judgment. There are genuine issues of material fact that warrant a trial. The plaintiff lacks standing, jurisdiction, and the foreclosure is time barred under FAPA. Additionally, this action should be discharged under RPAPL 15014. Defendant further requests that this court sanction plaintiff for its frivolous conduct. Respectfully submitted. Okay, guys, and then the exhibits. Okay, and here's Exhibit A, which is the order from the judge from the previous one, which says, upon consent, defendant's motion to renew and dismiss is granted. Yay. Larry Martin. Okay, and then the other one, let's look at the other exhibit, Exhibit B, the FOIA request. Okay, he first wrote an actual letter to the SEC asking them about the trust and when it ceased to exist. And then you got their response here, which has a tracking number saying basically click here to find these filings. Click here for this, click here for that. And the Form 15 can be found right in one of these. There it is, Form 15 here. And then down here is the actual Form 15. And the Form 15 is let's see here. Form 15D, D for death. It's signed by this guy here, Thomas J. Conway, Senior Vice President, on January 28, 2008. So this trust has been dead for some time. And then you can see we did a screenshot. If the court really wants to get nosy and actually look at this for themselves, here's the actual website. Suspension of duty to report under Form 15, and then the actual web address to the SEC to find this information. So there's no question that this is legitimate. Okay guys, back here, let's go back here. If you guys have any questions about any of this, you can always send me an email to foreclosurehelp777@gmail.com, or join my private Facebook group, which, you know, we pretty much talk to each other and collaborate. We do share motions with each other, and anything we can help each other combat this fraudulent foreclosures that are happening, we do. So I hope everyone has a blessed day, and thank you for subscribing.